Hello everyone. This video is in furtherance of our last recent case laws MCQs. This is the third video in continuation. So let's get started. Question number 41. In which case Supreme Court held that if the court intends to inflict death sentence, then such suggestion should be made to the accused at the stage of section 235 subsection 2 so as to enable the accused to make effective representation against death sentence by placing mitigating circumstances before the court. Correct answer for this question is answer B, Dattaraya versus State of Maharashtra. Question number 42. The fact that protest petition was not filed by the complainant when the report under section 173 subsection 2 was submitted does not prohibit the court from summoning the accused under section 319 CRPC on the basis of evidence which emerges from the trial. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? Saida Khatun Arshi versus State of UP. The role of victims' counsel should not extend to making oral arguments and examining witnesses. Victims' counsel is intended to have only secondary role qua public prosecutor. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? A. Rekha Murgaka versus State of West Bengal. Question number 44. In which case Supreme Court held that an accused after withdrawing his bail application before the High Court can file a subsequent bail application before the Sessions Court? C. Sharad versus State of Maharashtra. Question number 45. In which case Supreme Court held that a person cannot file an anticipatory bail application apprehending arrest following the cancellation of his regular bail. This is because a person released on bail remains under the constructive custody of law and a person in custody cannot seek anticipatory bail. Correct answer is D. Manish Jain versus Haryana Pollution Control Board. Question number 46. In which case Supreme Court held that the power to transfer investigation from state police to CBI is extraordinary power and must be exercised sparingly in exceptional circumstances. Routine transfers should not be done. Correct answer is B. Arnab Ranjan Goswami versus Union of India. Section 21 of CPC makes it clear that an objection as to want of territorial jurisdiction does not go to the root of the jurisdiction. It does not constitute inherent lack of jurisdiction. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? C. Snehalata Goyal versus Pushpalata. Question number 48. In which case Supreme Court held that where the court has the jurisdiction to entertain a suit, but in exercise of such jurisdiction, a mistake has been committed, it would constitute a jurisdictional error, not lack of jurisdiction. Correct answer is B. Nusli Neveli Vadia versus Ivory Properties. Question number 49. Civil court's jurisdiction is barred by necessary implication where right and liability is created by statute and that statute provides machinery for enforcement of such right, and where the statutes gives a finality to the orders of the special tribunals, the civil court's jurisdiction must be held to be excluded if there is adequate remedy to do what civil courts would normally do in a suit. Supreme Court observed in which of the following case? South Delhi Municipal Corporation versus Today Homes and Infrastructure Private Limited. In which case Supreme Court held that Section 11 Explanation 6 is not confined to cases covered by Order 1 Rule 8. It extends to include any litigation in which, apart from Order 1 Rule 8, parties are entitled to represent interested persons other than themselves. Provisions of Order 1 Rule 8 do not control the applicability of Section 11 Explanation 6. Correct answer is M. Siddiq versus Suresh Das. Question number 51. A complaint can be rejected. Order 7 Rule 11 of CPC when it is manifestly vexatious, meritless and groundless in the sense that it does not disclose a clear right to sue. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? Colonel Shravan Kumar Jaipuriyar alias Shravan Kumar Jaipuriyar versus Krishna Nandan Singh and another. In which case Supreme Court observed that if a plaint is returned under Order 7 Rule 10 and 10A of CPC for presentation in the court in which it should have been instituted, the plaint is to be considered as a fresh plaint and the trial is to be conducted de novo. Correct answer is D. EXL Careers versus Frankfin Aviation Services Private Limited. Question number 53. In which case Supreme Court held that the plaint cannot be rejected on the ground that it is barred by res judicata. On pursual of a complaint alone, it cannot be said that suit was barred by the principle of res judicata and this issue has to be determined at the trial. Correct answer is C. Vash Agarwal Panchayat versus Inder Kumar. Question number 54. Court should take a lenient view when a court is made for production of documents under Order 8 Rule 1A Clause 3. Procedural technicality should not come in way of doing substantial justice. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? A. Sugandhi versus P. Rajkumar. Where a party to the compromise denies execution of such compromise, right has been given under Order 43, Rule 1A, Clause 2 to raise a challenge. Section 96 subsection 3 will not bar such appeal. Section 96 subsection 3 is applicable where factum of compromise is not disputed. Civil suit filed by the stranger to the compromise challenging the legality of compromise is not maintainable. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? Answer is A. Trilokinath Singh versus Aniruddha Singh. Question number 56. In which case Supreme Court has observed that the provisions of Section 144 of CPC will not be attracted when there is no variation or reversal of a decree or order. Correct answer is C. Bansidhar Sharma since decease versus the state of Rajasthan. In which case Supreme Court held that it is the duty of the prosecution to lead best evidence in its possession. Correct answer is C. Parminder Kaur versus state of Punjab. Question number 58. Objections regarding admissibility and proof of evidence is to be decided by the court as at the final stage. Whenever an objection is raised during evidence taking stage regarding the admissibility of any material, trial court can make a note of such objection and decide it at the stage of final judgment. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? C. Dhanpad versus Shehuram. Question number 59. In which case Supreme Court observed that there is no evidentiary value to an involuntary confessional statement made under undue pressure and compulsion from the investigating officer, even when it leads to the recovery of material objects in relation to crime. Correct answer is B. Ashish Jain versus Markand Singh. Question number 60. In which case Supreme Court observed that if a particular statement satisfies all the criteria of tying declaration, it cannot be discarded merely because it has not been recorded by magistrate or police officer did not obtain attestation by any person present at the time of making a statement. Correct answer is C. Purushottam Chopra versus State NCT of Delhi. Question number 61. The weight to be ascribed to the expert evidence is based on the nature of the science on which it is based. Where the science in question possesses essential ingredients of verifiability and objective analysis, expert evidence would to that extent require some difference. The more developed and more perfect a science, the less is the chance of incorrect opinion and vice versa. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? D. M. Siddique versus Suresh Das. Question number 62. Last seen evidence may be relied upon when the lapse of time, the point when the accused and deceased were seen together and when the deceased was dead, ought to be so minimal so as to exclude the possibility of any intervening event involving the death at the hands of some other person. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? Shailendra Rajdev Paswan versus State of Gujarat. Question number 63. In which case Supreme Court held that the contract is to be interpreted giving the actual meaning to the words contained in the contract. It is not permissible to the court to make a new contract, however reasonable, if the parties have not made it themselves. Correct answer is D. Adani Power, Mundra versus Gujarat ERC. Question number 64. A mere reasonable apprehension is enough to put the right of self-defense into operation. It is not necessary that there should be actual commission of offence in order to give the right to private defense. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? C. Sukumaran versus State. It is not necessary before a person is convicted on the ground of common intention, he must actively involved in the physical activity of assault. If the nature of evidence displays a pre-arranged plan and acting in concert pursuant to the plan, common intention can be inferred. Common intention consists of several persons acting in union to achieve a common purpose, though their roles may be different. The role may be active or passive is irrelevant. Once common intention is established, Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? Correct answer is D. Subed Ali versus State of Assam. In which case Supreme Court reiterated that conviction under Section 306 of IPC, abetment of suicide, is not sustainable on the allegation of harassment without there being any positive action proximate to the time of occurrence on the part of the accused, which led or compelled to the person to commit suicide. Correct answer is A. Rajesh versus State of Haryana. इस सेक्शन से रिलेटेड बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट केस है ज्ञान कौर वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया. अगर आपको याद हो उसके बारे में तो ज़रूर कमेंट सेक्शन में बताएं. Question number 67. In which case Supreme Court held that there is no hard and fast rule in a case of single injury, Section 302 IPC would not be attracted. Correct answer is C. Stalin versus State. In which case Supreme Court held that Section 498A does not contemplate that complaint for offence under Section 498A should be filed only by women who is subjected to the cruelty by husband or his relative. Correct answer is D. Rashmi Chopra versus State of UP. Daughters have right in coparcenary by birth, and that is not necessary that the father coparcener should be living when the Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 came into force. The conferral of right is by birth, and the rights are given in the same manner with incidents of coparcenary as that of a son, and she is treated as a coparson in the same manner as the rights as if she had been son at the time of birth. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? This is a very important case. Vinita Sharma versus Rakesh Sharma. Question number 70. Karta can sell coparcenary property for legal necessity or for the benefit of the state. Onus of proof that the property was alienated for legal necessity or for the benefit of aliens. In case of alienee, admitted sale was without consideration and failed to discharge his onus. Sale deed alienating coparcenary property is liable to be set aside. Supreme Court observed this in which of the following case? B. Arshnur Singh versus Harpal Kaur. Question number 71. In which case Supreme Court has observed that a complaint under Section 138 of Negotiable Instruments Act is maintainable when there is dishonor of checks issued under and in pursuance of the agreement to sell. Correct answer is C. Ripudaman Singh versus Balkrishna. Question number 72. In which case Supreme Court refused to consolidate multiple check bounce case against the accused, which emanated from a single notice, and observed that there is no provision of consolidation of cases in CRPC. Correct answer is D. Vani Agro Enterprises versus State of Gujarat. Question number 73. In which case Supreme Court held that Section 143A of Negotiable Instrument Act on the payment of interim compensation to the complainant during the pendency of the case has no retrospective application. Correct answer is A. G.J. Raja versus Tejram Surana. In which case Supreme Court held that in a case of death of convict in offence under Section 138, his legal heirs are neither liable to pay fine nor to undergo imprisonment. They have the right to challenge the conviction of their predecessor only for the purpose that he was not guilty of any offence. Correct answer is D. M. Abbas Haji versus T. Channa Keshava. So finally, here we end our recent case laws MCQ series. I wish you all the best for your preparation, and it's a kind of request on my behalf. Please subscribe us and support us. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe MAYANK LAWHOLIC.